So I get the honor and the pleasure to talk about who's going to speak to us tonight. And when I got his bio, I started reading it, and we would probably be here till 10 o'clock if I read that. So I thought about it a lot, and I broke it down to 3 words. And I think these fit in pretty well. The first 2 words you have to meet before I believe you can get to the 3rd word. The first word that I thought of was servant. And many of us in this room are servants, and he is absolutely a servant. We serve our communities. We serve our countries. We serve our cities. He is absolutely a servant. The next word that I came up was brave. And when you think about brave, there's a lot of stuff out there about brave, but brave is when you run into the fight, not away from the fight. You're absolutely brave. And I think to have those 2 words and the 3rd word that I'm going to mention to you, I think is misused a lot. Because we look at sports heroes, and we look at the quarterback that was in the 4th quarter and had 10 minutes left and came back and won the Super Bowl, and that guy was a hero. Well, I don't know about that. But I do know who I'm fixing to introduce you to is a hero. And that's the 3rd word, is hero. On December 29th, 2019, Commissioner Wilson was serving the Lord at the West Freeway Church of Christ. And things changed that day. I think many of us in this room remember what happened that day. Before I bring him up, I think that we also have to recognize his wife, Jama, and they've been married 55 years. So let's give them a hand for that. Jama, thank you very much for allowing him to come speak to us tonight. We really do appreciate it. Commissioner, will you come up? This is District County Commissioner Jack Wilson.
Thank you, each and every one. It is an honor to be able to speak to a group such as this, because all of the people out here that are first responders are heroes. Just as a side note, if anybody here is working the double back fire, please stand. If you were working the double back fire, thank you, thank you, thank you. We got within 2 miles of our house. That's fine. But seriously, as was just addressed, December 29th, 2019, not only my life, my family's life, my church family's life, all changed. The individual came in to the church building and parked on the opposite side of the parking lot. Came in and had a make beard, wig on, toboggan, with 3/4 coat. Now, granted, it's the end of December, so it was a little cool. It was in the 40s that day. Earlier that morning, we got up and dressed for church, headed to church, got the radio on, was doing a building sweep. In that other part of the building, I get a radio call. You need to come to the front foyer. I go to the front foyer, the individual pointed out to me. Immediately, my gut instinct says something's not right. Whether it be intuition, gut instinct, whatever. I immediately went to the audio-visual section, I said, I want a camera on that individual. We live streamed the service. I want a camera on that individual, or none. Individual came in. When he came in the side door, because I had already installed cameras inside and outside the church property. I had locks on the doors, in other words, you had to have a card reader or somebody from the inside open the door for you to come in. That particular morning, Richard White's wife was the one that actually opened the door for the individual. Our youngest daughter, her husband, and our granddaughter were there. Son-in-law actually shook hands with him. Right hand. Remember, if you watch the video, his left hand is down like this when he came in. Because most of the video that's out there doesn't show him actually entering the building. That doesn't exist. He came in, son-in-law shook hands with him, greeted him, comes in, he sits down in the back pew on that side of the auditorium, right in the middle of it. Sits there for a few minutes, shortly after that, he gets up, goes to the restroom. Richard follows him in. I'm already watching him also. He goes into one of the stalls, and there for a minute or so, comes out. He goes back and sits back down on the pew, the same place. During the song service, he's picking up a songbook and he's singing. Richard's sitting about right here, the subject's right there. And Richard's sitting in a chair against the back wall. I'm standing to Richard's right. Not this far, I've got a clear shot, view of the individual. Left hand's not moving. We don't know whether he's got something wrong with him, his handicap, paralysis. Maybe he's had a facial issue, he's been burned, or he's taking chemo, lost all of his hair and everything. So, but with just something about it didn't seem like we're watching him. Halfway through the church service, he gets up, goes back and talks to Tony Wallace, who's offering communion that morning. Tony motions for him to go sit back down. He goes and sits back down on the pew. Shortly after that, he gets up again and goes back and talks to Tony. Tony motions again to go sit back down. He does say this time he sits on the end of the pew, the outside wall. Roger was offering prayer. As soon as he did that, the individual stands up, pulls out a legal shotgun, pump shotgun, 12 gauge. Richard is saying, drop the gun, drop the gun. I've already cleared leather. My gun's out. He shoots Richard immediately. Immediately turns. And when I say he shot Richard with a 12 gauge slug at a distance from here to this lady right here. Round went in here, come out there. So you can imagine what was destroyed. He immediately racks it, turns, and shoots Tony. This time it's a double off buck, 9 pellet. Tony is an RN. He takes 2 pellets through the arm, then into his body, the other 7 into his upper torso right here. The individual immediately racks the shotgun and heads down towards the front, coming down that side over there. I'm 46 feet away from him. He stops, and he sees my movement. I've got 5 people between he and I, including some children. I'm worried about collateral damage. Those in law enforcement understand that statement. And I teach. I've been teaching since 1995. Firearms instruction. I teach. You shoot center mass. Because you got a bigger target. I've got people between you and I, so I'm worried about the collateral. The only shot I got, when he stops and turns halfway facing me, I do a headshot. I'm here, and I'm back here. Bullet goes into the wall. He immediately drops. I go around, pull the shotgun back from him. And by that time, if you watch the video, you'll see 5 or 6 other team members that are already over and got their guns out on top. We're looking also for if there was a second shooter possibly. There wasn't. What we found out after the fact, the church had been helping this individual off and on for almost 7 years with food and clothing. We also found out that the year prior in New Jersey, he had been arrested on an assault charge, again, assault with a deadly weapon, with a shotgun. Now, a couple of things that you may or may not be aware of. When I shot him, his gun went off a 3rd time, and it was 9 pellet of aught buck. Across the center of the podium, from this angle, about like here, from that second door set over there, across the top of the podium, Roger, who, like I said, was offering prayer, saw as he's dropping, he actually saw the muzzle flash. Those who've been in the military understand the flash and the bang, set timing. Understand one thing. From the time the individual stood up with the gun out, till he's down, is 6 seconds. That's it. That's how fast things will evolve. 6 seconds. 2 people are dead and he's dead. Training for all of you elected officials in here, and I'm one. Training budget should be the last thing to cut in budget, not the first. The 18 members that I had on my security team, we had well over 300 man hours on the range with each one of them. And we're not shooting static. In other words, not shooting paper targets. Targets on the move, command targets, multiple targets, setting targets, ground barricades, etc. That's the training that those individuals have gone through. Training is critical. And as I practice and I train, I said it that day and I say it every day I discuss this issue. As much as I train and practice, focus. God's hand was on mine when I pulled that trigger. I won't answer around that when I want to go away sideways on that. It was a double action pull right out of the hose. And again, from the time he stood till he down, 6 seconds. Please, that's not being boastful. That's the facts. If you haven't seen the video and you so choose to want to see the video, it's out there on YouTube. There's 3-way truck present shooting December 29, 2019. The aftermath, in effect, that particular day, there were over 240 individuals in the auditorium when that happened. 42 children. By the time 911 was called, police, some of the police were there in less than 2 minutes. It was right at 4 minutes before they came in the building. Because somebody had opened the door and let them in because of the mag locks. That time, they went, got a clearance of what all had happened. And they went and started interviewing people, pulling data off of the DVR cameras. Once they got in, they took my weapon, took Richard's weapon, although he never got it out of his holster, and I'll address that shortly. Picked got the shotgun from the individual. Shortly after that, they took me in one of the small classrooms. I said, I'm gonna make a phone call. I called U.S. Fall Shield. I've been a member since 2013. I told Richard, who had been in our facility in the past, I told him what happened. He said, somebody will contact you. And about, 10 or 12 minutes, I get a call from a lady named Liz Reed out of Garland, Texas. On this side, I'm over here on the west side of Fort Worth. She's there in an hour and 20 minutes. She's there for over 3 hours. By the time she gets there, not only do I got Monticello PD, I got Forward PD, I got Kent County SO, got Texas Rangers, and I got FBI. Actually, when she got there, they would let her cross the line, had to go get the Texas Rangers, like, need you to bring, there's my attorney over there, bring her in. They brought her in. She's there, like I said, for over 3 hours. The whole time, at the time she got there, we're assisting FBI from pulling data off of the DVR. At that time, they were trying to determine whether or not it would be classified as a hate crime. But they got to have a number, they got to have 4, not 3. 2. So anyway, got all of that. They started interviewing all of the individuals that were in the auditorium. Finally took 2 bus loads to one of the junior highs. Finished that. They told me about 3:15, 3:30, I guess. Well, you're welcome to leave. No. As long as everybody else is having to be interviewed, stay here. I'm staying here. And then talk about the individual who shot me. Standard over the counter 12-gauge pump with a pistol grip, 18-inch barrel. Normal capacity on that with the standard tube, 5 rounds. His gun went off 3 times and they were all 2 3/4 shells. He still had 7 rounds in his gun and 3 more in his pocket. And people say, well, how did he have that? He didn't have an extended tube, mag tube on it. The balance of what was in his gun and in the pocket, what's called minis, 1 3/4 inch 12-gauge slugs. So the individual came in there with full of pure evil intent. The video for the law enforcement community, if you watch it, it shows 3 things straight out. What I classify as the 3 F's. That's fight, flight, and freeze. And I will stand here and tell you that in those situations like that, every one of you will do one of those 3 F's. And if you watch the video, you will see all 3 F's. Fight, flight, and freeze. Training, as I stated earlier, is essential. Richard, for whatever reason, had always been carrying and training with the SIG D229 Legion, just like I wear. For whatever reason, he just bought a smaller 9mm handgun. Instead of carrying it outside the waist right here, he had it inside the pant holster with a different gun that he had never trained with. There. He had his shirt held out, square bottom shirt held, but he had a sport coat on also. If you watch the video that did specifically in that arena, you will see he never got his gun out. I suggested, folks, for any of you who carry, if you change guns, you spend a lot of time practice producing it from whatever method you're going to carry, and how you're going to carry it. Because I'm not saying that's what caused Richard his life, didn't help. Richard and I were quite close. And I was there as they started trying to attend to him and trying to attend to Tony. Like I said a minute ago, Tony is in our hands. He's telling the people trying to help him what to do to help him. And I can't tell you the number of nurses since that event that when they got out of nursing school, and they went to work here downtown, they got assigned to him. He was that good. This whole thing, it affects the family all the way. Not only, our personal family, because on any given Sunday, there's 15 to 25 blood family members there. That day there were 16. But most of the people in that congregation, my wife and I, who started dating in high school, we grew up with. I had two ladies that were there. It was our wedding shower 56 plus years ago. So it's family. The whole church was family. I was standing here to tell you that your life and those kind of events change that quick. Again, our daughter that was at the door when the individual came in, our granddaughter, they still got PTSD because of it. Even though they were on the other side of the auditorium, when the shooting occurred at that side of the auditorium, they were way over here. One of the funny things that we talk about off and on, my wife's sitting on the back pew on the far side over here at the back, where she could watch, you'll see the doors coming into the auditorium. Two ladies in front of us, they didn't realize what was going on. She did. She pushed her down below, the pews, and she was apologizing to them afterwards, thinking, hope I didn't hurt your neck, because she was pushing her down. So, we had already told the congregation, if there's ever an event, you get down, drop to the floor. Some did, some didn't. Like I said, if you watch the video, it's now a training video, because of what went right and what went wrong. I feel privileged and blessed that I can talk this to people. If people say, well, how did it feel to kill somebody? I didn't kill a human being that day. I took out evil. That's what I said that day. I say it every time I talk. Seriously. And that's the way I look at it. That's how I deal with it. He came in with pure evil intent. And that was what we had trained for. That was the congregation on the west side of Fort Worth, Selma, out there at I-30 and Las Vegas Road. Part of the aftermath, typically it was 240, 250 attendance every Sunday. About half that. COVID hit partially. Second part of it is people just didn't come back. They're about 130, 135 average. It's imperative, whether you're a firefighter, EMT, or law enforcement, you train and practice. Because I'll stand here and tell you, you don't know when something's going to go down. We had no clue
Not sure about you, I believe I just heard a hero, so let's give him one more round. Thank you, Commissioner Wilson. Thank you for being trained, thank you for being prepared. Face evil when it came. God bless you for